While executing a mission, the assassin discovered a sexy call girl had appeared in the target's room, and his male instincts made him steal another glance. He looked at his watch, heart rate 65. This was when he was at his peak. Michael chambered around, ready for a clean kill, because he'd never missed before. As the target came back into view, Michael decisively squeezed the trigger, but at the critical moment, the woman suddenly twisted her body and took the bullet instead. Michael quickly chambered another round to finish the job, but the bodyguard had already spotted his position. Realizing he'd been exposed, Michael quickly packed up his weapon, collected a shell casing from the ground, then put on his helmet and rushed downstairs. By the time police sirens wailed through the streets, Michael was already riding his motorcycle out through a back alley. He quickly ditched his gear and tossed his helmet into the river, disposing of all the evidence. He stopped at a convenience store and used a bathroom break to strip off his clothes and clean himself up, then doused himself in cologne as he left to mask his scent. After taking care of everything, he hailed a taxi straight to the airport. Once there, Michael pulled out his backup pistol, wiped it clean of any biological traces, and discreetly tossed it in a trash can. While waiting in the security line, he noticed a police dog staring at him. Even though Michael had already cleaned off the gunpowder residue, he wasn't taking any chances, so he abandoned that flight, headed into the restroom, and meticulously scrubbed his exposed skin again, even wiping down the sink where he'd been standing. As a top-tier assassin, Michael never let his guard down. That's why he was still alive. He then booked another flight, but just as he was about to board, his boss called. Michael knew that when a hit on a high-profile target fails, sometimes the assassin gets silenced, which meant he was likely being hunted by both sides now. After hanging up, Michael immediately pulled out his SIM card and crushed his phone to prevent tracking. Even on the plane, Michael stayed alert, constantly watching his surroundings. Fortunately, nothing happened. After landing, Michael still didn't relax. He kept changing routes and never drove parallel to any other vehicles, because at matching speeds, a gun could appear from any window at any moment. After a full day of detours, Michael finally made it home. Right at his doorstep, he discovered something terrifying. 2 large shoe prints on the ground outside his front door. Based on their size, they were clearly left by a man, and next to them was a pile of cigarette butts. Michael's wife had been home alone all this time, and the thought filled him with dread. He quickly grabbed his gun from the car and climbed over the fence. Crouching low, Michael ran toward the house. Music was playing inside, but his wife was nowhere to be seen. Michael rushed to the bedroom, which was in complete disarray with blood on the walls. He frantically called his wife's phone and learned she'd been seriously injured and was in the hospital. Since only his boss knew his address, Michael was certain that after the failed assassination, his boss had tried to silence him, but had hurt his wife instead. Michael was the type who always settled scores, so he immediately packed his bags and headed to the airport to exact his revenge on his boss.